Ladies and gents, greetings. Welcome to First Light Cloud Exchange, your cloud solutions center. Today we invited Natural Wireless to our studio. What is the most important aspect of your business? Or to be more precise, what is the backbone of your business infrastructure? If you answered internet connection, well, you'd be right. Internet connection is the most important part of your, or actually the backbone of your entire network infrastructure. Most businesses in New York Metro have cable, Fios, or fiber optic connections to deliver their internet circuits. Well, there's a lot of problem with those types of circuits. There's built-in points of failure. Many times, as you have already experienced, those circuits do go down. And when they do go down, bringing them back up could take anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of days. We invited Mr. Jay Yin from Natural Wireless. Jay, welcome.
Thank you.
To discuss Natural Wireless products and how they are better equipped to deliver a better service to you. Jay, let's discuss Natural Wireless.
Sure.
How would you describe this internet connection?
So Natural Wireless, we provide fixed wireless internet through microwave and millimeter wave technology, completely diverse from underground fiber that typically, is a backbone, like you mentioned, for the typical businesses and commercial buildings. For us, it's a complete diverse solution that comes from a different part of, delivered through different ways. Mm-hmm. One, through the air, through line of sight. Second, it doesn't come from the underground. We deliver from the roof down to the customer's suite. So it's completely diverse from whatever fiber solution or cable solution that the customers are used to.
In other words, there is no cable anywhere within your infrastructure, whether it's on your end or on the customer end.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
So you call it point-to-point wireless, fixed wireless connection?
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
So in essence, you are installing an antenna at the customer rooftop, which is pointing to your antenna.
Correct.
At your point of presence, and you're delivering service that way.
Right. Every one of our connection points to our peering point within our network within the city, and it routes with multiple diversity within our network back to our multiple COs and data centers and get out to the internet.
Great. And I did look at your network infrastructure. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the customer end first.
Okay.
So you're installing two antennas, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that's for diversity?
Yes. So
they're pointing to two different directions?
Correct. So that's something that's unique within our network compared to our competitors. At every connection we install, we provide two antennas, two connections to two different points of our network, and they route to two different COs, diverse COs within our network, to provide diversity and redundancy within our network. It is managed by our engineering team for full resiliency and automatic failover. So in case anything happens in one side of the connection, regardless of equipment or anywhere down in the path of the network, it automatically switch over to the other antenna and go out, so the customer does not see an impact to the network at all.
So you have built-in redundancy and failover in your entire infrastructure, both on the customer end as well as on your end.
Correct.
So even if one antenna fails, the other one would pick up all the traffic seamlessly.
Correct. So not just at the customer end, we have dual antennas. Every peering point of our network has dual antenna connections as well. So automatic failover designed within our network at every single hop, every single connection.
It's would you say it's what is that word? Self-healing network. Yes. It's a self-healing network, right?
Yes.
Because everywhere there's a natural wireless presence, there's dual points.
Correct.
Points of connection, dual points of connection. And if you multiply that by thousands and thousands of customers, you have a fully mesh redundant network.
Correct.
So that's how you can deliver almost 99.99% uptime,
yes.
Guaranteed uptime.
Correct.
Okay. What does your installation time frame look like?
We can install as fast as overnight if the customer needs it.
Overnight?
So overnight, yes. We have
That's pretty impressive.
We do have customers that needed that. They called us last minute, says all their circuits are down, they need the circuits, they have no connections for point of sales, for network, for ERP solutions, and we were able to turn them up overnight. But our typical lead time for installation is 5 business days.
That's great. That's impressive because fiber optic takes anywhere from 90 to 120 days. And even if you're in a lit building, that is still 30 to 45 days.
Correct.
Lit building meaning building that already has fiber optic connection in it. Even in those buildings, 30 to 45 days. And you're coming in fresh, right?
Correct.
And you're turning up service within 5 days?
Turning up service in 5 days, regardless of bandwidth. It could be 10 meg or 10 gig, it's 5 business days.
We're going to discuss that in a minute. Now, I know we just mentioned that Natural Wireless has a very reliable infrastructure. It delivers service that is meant for enterprise grade. Whether you're just using that as an internet connection or you put your entire infrastructure in the cloud, Natural Wireless can actually carry that load. However, I'm sure a lot of prospects and customers are wondering, how reliable is that connection? Does it go up and down? Is it symmetrical bandwidth? You want to shine some light on that?
Sure. So there's a lot of misconception about fixed wireless solution, whether it's a 5G, it's a satellite. Fixed wireless solution is a dedicated internet solution. It's just like fiber bandwidth. It's symmetrical bandwidth. It's got your SLAs, your 496 SLAs, and the bandwidth it's from, like we mentioned, from 10 megs all the way to 10 gigs, symmetrical. So it is a fiber replacement solution for a customer.
So many of you heard me say at many different times that you always want to get a dedicated internet access. Cable, Fios, those are shared internet connections. So DIA is what most businesses require and most businesses need. And Natural Wireless is a dedicated internet access connection.
Correct.
It comes with an SLA, service level agreement, with guaranteed uptime guarantee as well as repair guarantee, and full throughput of whatever speed customers are buying. That's what they're going to be getting, both upload and download.
Correct.
Great. Okay. I also saw that there are a couple of advantages that you offer over other competitors, such as we covered that every customer endpoint has dual antenna, so that creates a fail-safe platform.
Right.
Within your own network, you also have a completely mesh network, so it's truly redundant, number one. Number two, you're offering DDoS protection within your network, right?
Yes. So within our network, we already have built-in DDoS protection within our network, within our gateway. So whenever there's an attack, it's attacking our equipment, our gateway first. And we already have mitigation points to support that. So it does not attack customers' endpoint directly. It comes through us, and then we filter it through. So to customers, the DDoS protection is already automatically built into the network.
Let's elaborate on that just a little bit.
Sure.
A lot of IT managers are just scratching their head thinking, how are you protecting me from the DDoS? So in a typical scenario, let's say you have a 1 gig fiber pipe, right? That usually terminates into a router, customer premise equipment or the router. Now the hackers try to pump that router overload with all the information, which is the DDoS attack. Since in the Natural Wireless infrastructure on the customer end, there is no router, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Since there is no router, there is no way to attack that endpoint.
Correct.
If someone were to attack a Natural Wireless infrastructure, that would happen within your infrastructure.
Correct.
And since you already have that DDoS protection built in, it stops right there. It doesn't come to the endpoint with the customer prem.
Correct. So for the customer router, customer side of it, it's a direct fiber feed directly right to the equipment. They can have router, they have switches, whatever they need, or firewalls they need, they have for the network. But for us, the public facing is our equipment, our network, our gateway.
Great. Also, one other thing, it's a managed service, meaning every endpoint is being monitored in real time by your NOC, right? So in case a customer site were to go down for whatever reason, there could be antenna malfunction, antenna may got knocked over, whatever the case may be. If that location were offline, you would know that right away, and you would proactively reach out to the customer. Am I right?
Correct. So we have our own NOC in New Jersey, locally supported with our team, our support. So we monitor every endpoint of our network. If in case there's any jitters or any packet losses or any circuits that's down, we know immediately, and we will start a mitigation process, and we will also notify the customer of the impact. Also, we will route to the other circuit, the other antenna, to make sure that the customer is up and running. And if the case that we need to dispatch, we have our own dedicated support team, our own staff that we could dispatch to the customer site for any break fix.
Since you mentioned packet loss and latency, let's discuss that. Because almost all customers today have unified communications. They have mission critical, time sensitive application that are riding over their internet connection.
Right.
What does your packet loss and latency look like? Are they enterprise grade to carry all the typical day-to-day work?
So our packet loss SLAs is standard as all carrier, enterprise grade carriers, same measurements. But what's important is out latency. Out latency is with less than 5 milliseconds for circuit. So for customers,
remember, you're on camera, so your latency is less than 5 milliseconds.
Exactly, less than 5 milliseconds. So for customers that have UCaaS, that have videos, etc., latency is the most important. It's how fast you can get your package out, and we have less than 5 millisecond latency within our network.
Does that ever fluctuate?
No.
The reason I ask, because even on a fiber connection, fiber is the best type of connection you can get, landline based, right? Even on a fiber connection, sometimes the latency fluctuates. No matter how much SLA they put out, no matter how much guarantee they give you, there are latencies that sometimes causes issues. Right. So your latency never fluctuates.
It doesn't, because we have less equipment to hop compared to fiber. Within fiber, there's more equipment that they have to touch, which increases latencies as each hop goes through.
More hops, more latency.
For us, it's a point-to-point connection. So there's less equipment to go through, and that's why we were able to maintain that latency.
That's beautiful. Now, if there's a customer that has multiple locations, and they're all within your footprint, and we're going to talk about footprint in a bit, but if they're all within your footprint, you can create a private network?
Yes. We could create a layer 2 private network for them, dedicated within our network, just for their private line solutions. Or we could also provide, if let's say for a customer that have close campuses, they need dark fiber solutions. We could replace dark fiber using point-to-point fixed wireless solution as well.
And dark fiber is expensive. If let's take that example, a campus, university campus. To lay out dark fiber, the cost could be anywhere from $100,000 to $1 million, right?
Correct.
Because you got to dig into the ground, put that in, long-term contract, and then if that has points of failures, like I mentioned earlier, and if that goes down, you have to wait for that technician to be dispatched and fix that. It reminds me, there's Long Island City in New York City. There's an area called Long Island City. That area is crisscrossed by multiple train tracks. You have MTA, you have Metro North, you have a couple other trains, LIRR, going through, crisscrossing LIC. We have some customers and prospects, they're big production houses. They do video editing. They need a lot of bandwidth. They reached out to us and they said, can you please give us a 1 gig, 10 gig pipe? Every carrier that we went to, they all came back negative because they could not dig through the rail tracks. Because they're going like this and you could not dig through that and lay fiber. That's not possible.
Right.
So they did get fixed wireless connection. And that reminds me also to mention that fixed wireless, we started selling them, we started positioning them with our customers as early as 2004. It turns out that is the most reliable product in our entire portfolio. Every customer that got fixed wireless starting in 2004, not a single one of them left that circuit and got an alternate option. Nobody went and got fiber or T1 or anything like that. Right. So I can attest to this, that fixed wireless is the most reliable product.
And talk about reliability, during Hurricane Sandy, at downtown, with all the fiber being flooded that were out, fiber equipment, We were the only carrier that was up and running during Sandy. For any customers that were on our network, they didn't have any impact to the network. They were up and running during that time.
And I can attest to that again. All the customers that we have had on fixed wireless, and these were 24/7 operation, they could not afford any downtime. Not a single one of them had any hiccup of any kind. We never heard from them trouble ticket-wise. They never call us, hey, my circuit is down, my phones are not working, because everything is riding over that internet circuit, and that circuit's been very, very reliable. We never opened a single trouble ticket in 19 years. 19 years, and knock on wood, somewhere. Great, last point. How long does it take? Again, you said 5 business days.
Correct.
What's involved during a site survey and installation?
So our site survey will be our implementation team will go on site to review the line of sight confirmation that our team already done previous to contract implementation, and they will look at the building requirements. They will look at building management requirements on how to install the equipment, how to pull the fiber, which conduit to pull. We put that into a into statement of work. Provide that back to the building management for them to approve. Once they approve, we schedule within 5 business days to install.
Very good. And you install on the rooftop. Now, there's a lot of high rises in Manhattan. How realistic it is to be able to install on the rooftop? Can you do a window?
We could do window, but the rooftop is the most clean installation.
And you're able to install anywhere in Manhattan?
Yes.
By the way, your footprint is 5 boroughs of New York, right? And you're also expanding into New Jersey.
So our footprint is 5 boroughs in New York. We're at all the major airports, the 3 airports in New York City and New Jersey. So our footprint covers, Manhattan, Long Island City, of course, up to Jamaica, and Bronx, Brooklyn, etc. For New Jersey-wise, we cover it down to Newark area, the northeast of New Jersey. We cover our coverage. We are expanding to other markets. That's a news that will be delivered. That will be announced soon. But we have a couple more markets that we'll be delivering. That will be supporting very soon.
And your bandwidth, customers can get anywhere from 10 meg to 10 gig?
Correct. Our standard offer is 10 meg all the way to 10 gig. We can do more than 10 gig for custom design, custom solutions if the customer requires that. But our standard offer is between 10 meg to 10 gig.
Yeah, so if there's a university, bank, financial institution, hospitals, they need big bandwidth, you are able to fulfill that requirement as long as they're within your service area.
Correct.
Fantastic. Jay, this is really great. Thank you very much for coming in. Our customers are really thrilled to learn about Natural Wireless. Thank you. And thank you for tuning in.